The ABC Book Club charges a $40 monthly fee plus $2 per book read in that month. The Easy Book Club charges a $35 monthly fee plus $3 per book read in that month. For each club, how many books must be read in 1 month for the total charges for each club to be equal? All right, so we are given two separate equations here. We have the ABC Book Club, and that's $40 per month plus $2 per book. Okay, a lot of people will think this $40 is going to vary because it says per month, but if you go to the bottom of this question, the question is telling us how many months we're looking at. So that number is actually not going to change from 40 for this particular question. So I know for my ABC equation, I will have a $40 monthly fee plus $2 per book. Anytime you see the word per, your brain should be thinking of rates of change. The rate is going to change based off of how many books that I have. So $2 per book, I could write it as the equation y equals 40 plus $2 per book. Now, like I said, the 40 is going to change based off of how many months, but because this particular question said 1 month, that $40 is not going to change. All right, if we keep reading, we have the Easy Book Club, and it charges $35 for a monthly fee and then $3 per book. So again, we have a $35 fee that is not going to change because for this question, we're looking at 1 month plus $3 per book. So the monthly fee is less, but the cost per book is more. And they are asking when these equations will be equal. Well, guys, here's a really cool thing that our brain should recognize. These equations both equal y. So what we can actually do is set the equations equal to. Now that we have built our equations, we have to go and actually read what the question's asking. It wants to know when these book clubs would be the exact same amount. So there's a couple options for this problem. You can use your handheld graphing calculator or Desmos. For your handheld graphing calculator, you would take your first equation as y1 and your second equation as y2 and just plug them straight in. So that's your handheld. For Desmos, you could also keep them separate. That's totally fine. But some of you might like the visual of seeing the two equations set equal to each other. The whole point is to see when their graphs are going to hit each other for when they're equal. And so algebraically, we want to know when the left side and the right side are equal to each other. And so that might be a helpful way for you to see it inside of Desmos. Let's go do both. On the handheld calculator, anytime you want to graph, go up here to y equals. And we're going to type in both of those equations. So the first one was 40 plus 2x. And the second one was 35 plus 3x. All right, so I'm going to click graph. And here's the problem. My graph is off of the screen. If you think about these equations, my y-intercepts are 40 and 35. So they are very high up on my graph. Here's a trick. If you click the word zoom, you could do zoom fit, which is 0. If you look right here, zoom fit. So I could click 0 and it will fit my graph. It will show where my graph is on my window. You could also manually change your window. So I knew it was going to need to go up to 40 at least. And so my Y maximum could have been in the 40, 50, or 60 range. But anyway, I like zoom fit because it's really helpful. Now I want to know when they equal each other. So right here in calculate in blue, we're going to click second trace to get calculate. We want to know when they intersect each other. So that's what intersection is going to do for us. We can scroll sideways and get closer to the intersection. Really, your calculator does it all for you. So you don't really even have to move. And then notice that the question changes to second curve. You just have to hit enter and then it asks guess. You just have to hit enter one more time. And it's going to hop to where that intersection happens. And so we can see that the x value is 0 and the y value is 50. Now, if we think about in our equation, it's written right here at the top. at least the second equation is. It was $3 per book. And so that X is representing how many books we have. And so X is 5, then it's saying you would have to have 5 books for those equations to equal each other. Now we're going to hop over to Desmos and look at the exact same thing. All right, on Desmos, we can go ahead and type in those equations. And like I said, it's a kind of a really cool visual to see that 40 plus 2x, we are wanting it to be equal to 35 plus 3x. And so typing both of those in set equal to each other, it tells you what your x value is. So it says in order to make that left side equal to that right side, you would need the x value to be 5. And that's where this graph shows up here. Now you might not like that, and so you can totally keep those separate like we did in our handheld calculator. You would need to make it an equation, so y equals, and then y equals that other equation. And if you notice, nothing's on my screen. And again, that's because my window is not big enough to show the whole thing. Desmos is really friendly, user-friendly to move around, so we know we need to go, we can even scroll out. We're gonna have to go way up here, and then I can click on that intersection and it tells me 50 and or 5 and 50. So 5 is my x value. So back at the question, the correct answer would be 5.